It will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. This is what the education system has been making students feel like for years. Like the fish, it makes them feel stupid and incompetent. Others, it makes them feel without purpose. And some, it makes them feel hopeless. Hopeless that if they can't succeed now, how are they going to succeed in the future? Ladies and gentlemen, to answer the question of does education need to change, I say yes, it does. And I'll answer it with three simple questions. Why, what, and how? Why does the education system need to change? What in education should change? And how will the education system, how will we change the education system for the future? To answer the first question, I turn to Andy Powell, the CEO of the Independent Education Foundation, EDGE, which is dedicated to raising the status of technical, practical, and vocational learning. He says that indeed it is largely based on a system developed over a century ago, a factory model where children are placed in a learning conveyor belt, then sorted, packaged, and labeled according to their so-called intelligence. He stated, a system developed over a century ago, which stirs the question, are children in today's society getting set up for their future, or are they getting set up for our past? To give an example of this, you can look at the ability to lead in students, which can be partially demonstrated by the capability to give a speech, which those with more leadership qualities can give a better speech. And that this type of skill set should be taught more in a standard curriculum, which is also one of the reasons of what should change in education. The education system should teach more life skills to students, like how to give a public speak and how to lead, not only to listen and to follow instructions. It should also allow for more self-paced instruction. Catherine Stanley, a sixth grade English language arts and social studies teacher, conducted a 2019 study that showed that the self-paced learning environment was more beneficial for the students than just a regular classroom experience. The science behind this is that the students actually understand the content that they're learning about rather than memorizing and regurgitating the information onto a test. And then another way to improve our education system is to reduce the amount of standardized testing that we make students do, which is being done in Finland, one of the top-ranked countries in education. Lionel Hancock, an education reporter and professor, said that there are no mandated standardized testing in Finland apart from one exam at the end of the student's senior year in high school. There are no rankings, no comparisons, or competition between students, schools, or regions. Which, how can we make this system in the United States? Well, on a local level, Mr. Nielsen has been trying a new grading system that some of you might be familiar with, but it grades students more on their understanding than the memorization. As I said before, it helps because you're not just memorizing and regurgitating something on a test. You're actually learning and understanding it. Also, to progress further in our ability to be a better education system, we should change our mindset on how we look at teachers. We should be treating them more like mentors and them treating us more like mentees, of getting us to the standard that they're at. Someone that isn't just there to teach us something, but someone that's there to give us guidance. Altogether, we have a plethora of reasons of why we should start to change education. but nothing comes close to the effect it has on students. As I said, it is left making them feel stupid and incompetent, making them feel hopeless. I keep a ribbon on my keys to remind me of this. It is from a soccer night for a friend. It reminds me that even when we think that everything is all right, that you still need to appreciate the things that you have, because at some time you might lose that or that someone. Like anything else that we're unsure about, that we might be unsure about, there's two things that we can do. We can continue how it is